Always carrying Archaeological Review Committee of October 6, 2022 to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Chair X,
Present.
Member Pierce,
Present.
Member Juan, Member Zinn.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. First matter is approval of agenda. Any numbers?
We did remove one case, right?
We did, case number 5, they requested to be postponed to, the next hearing, which is, the 3rd of November.
Move for approval with that change. If we do not have our first, skip to the next.
We could amend, we could, push them to the end if that.
For
As so stated.
I'll second.
all in favor? Roll call vote.
Member Pierce.
Aye.
Member Juan. Member Zinn.
Yes.
The motion has been approved.
Thank you. Next is approval of the minutes of September 1st, 2022. We didn't say anything.
Yeah. Really small minute.
Any members, anything to note? Members in,
Nothing, sir.
member Pierce,
Nothing for me.
one.
No comment.
I have nothing.
Move for approval as,
I'll second.
You moving second to the roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce.
Aye.
Member Juan. Member Zinn.
Yes.
The motion has been approved.
Thank you. Matters from the floor. We have a couple people in attendance. Do we have anybody attending online that we know
We do, Eric Windman is online.
of? Okay, if he has anything to raise from the floor, now is the time to get your attention.
We have, no hands, but I'm gonna go ahead and permit him to make sure he can hear us. All right, just a bit of a sound check. Eric, can you hear us?
Thank you. I'm here and I can hear you.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no matters raised from the floor, we'll move on to old business. Is there any old business? I see none on the agenda. Therefore, we move to new business. We've moved the first is to the end, so second is 202 5941. Paleo F, agent for CNN, request approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for the installation of 16,238 feet of electrical conduit along multiple streets near Avenida Carniza and the Suburban Archaeological Review District. We have the staff report, Carly, anything to add?
No, Chair. I don't.
All right. Who is representing this case?
I will. I am.
Okay, let us come forward and be sworn in.
Okay. Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Heather Seltzer Rogers. There's a hyphen between the two of things.
And your address.
10505 Hackamore Place, Southwest Albuquerque.
All right. Here's where you get the floor first, if there's anything you need to
Okay.
add to what you've already added.
Other than Robin Cordero doesn't work for our company anymore, so he will not be part of the project.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Then if you have nothing in particular, we'll move to committee members. Number one, if you, anything to question or comment on?
No.
All right. Member Pierce.
Yeah, I just have one question. This, let me see here. It's on report page 6, where you mentioned that, PNN's construction subcontractor will transfer the right of way. Most of this project is boring, but we're talking about trenching. But there's nothing on the map to indicate where that right of way is.
Mhm.
So I don't know where exactly in the larger project area the trenching can occur.
I think, yeah, I think I should say boring instead and not trenching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was probably the case. It'd be weird to mix it like that. Okay, that's all I have.
All right, members in.
I don't have any questions on it.
We have one item.
Mhm.
And that has to do with section 6 of your document, historic maps, aerial photographs, and land grant history. I appreciate the effort to put this on early maps.
Okay,
However,
not necessary.
no, it's always useful.
Yeah,
When you can see things to talk about. In this case, it seems like mostly there isn't much to talk about.
Okay.
There is, however, an error.
Okay.
It's your page 33, it's figure 6.4.
Okay.
The project area is rendered about a quarter mile west of where it really is. And its scale seems to be not in keeping with the background image.
okay,
Other than that, it was a good attempt. I can vaguely make out some drainages. Have there been any improvements? That would have been interesting.
okay.
Nothing else noted. So that's a minor little change. So if you repeat that in the report,
Mhm.
you can fix it.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, there's one other thing. I think it's in this one. We talked about, if human burials are encountered with halts and set up a buffer of 50 feet. Is that a industry standard? Was that your, this one? Anyway, is that an industry standard to set up a no-go zone for 50 feet, 7 footer, or is there an industry standard that's, is that our, standard? Yeah, it sounds fine.
It's pretty much the standard language under state controlled project. That's all I wanted to know. It varies from project to project depending on the type of disturbance.
We found one of the 6 feet more. and 1 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a question more than a real comment. Thank you.
All right. We can entertain motion.
Chair, I move for approval, case 2022-005942. Right?
4-1.
4-1, yes. As submitted with the corrections, that the chair suggested.
Motion
I'll second that.
moved in seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce,
Aye.
member Juan, member Kim,
Yes.
the motion has been approved.
Thank you. You do not need to stay if you wish to go. Next is case number 2022-5942. Office of Archaeological Studies, agent for High Tide Networks LLC. Request approval of archaeological monitoring plan for the installation of 625 feet of conduit at 502 North Guadalupe Street and Rivers and Soil Archaeological Review District. Is that the staff report, Carly, anything to add?
No chair. Nothing to add.
Okay, Dr. Brinman is attending remotely, so Vance, be recognized and sworn in.
Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Eric, E-R-I-C, Blinman, B-L-I-N-M-A-N. My address for the Office of Archaeological Studies is 7 Old Cochiti Road, Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87507-1004.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Linda, you have the floor, sir.
Fairly simple request for approval for boring. Most of the work will be in the heavily disturbed western margin of the road prism for Guadalupe. I think the only question we have is whether or not the single bore pit that is along Guadalupe will penetrate as deep as to expose any pre-road deposits. When we did monitoring for P&M lines within DeVargas Mall at the lower elevation, we found that the entire original ground surface for DeVargas Mall had been removed, and there are no cultural materials once you get off the road prism. So that's where we are.
All right, thank you. Committee members in.
I just drove by there today and I think you might get delivered. But that's just speculation. I have no other comments except that it's nice to see references that go all the way back to Adolf Hitler and a lot of other luminaries of history and archaeology. In fact, they're all in.
Hail, hail. Member Pierce.
No comment.
Number one. I have no comment. We can entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve case 5942 as submitted.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce,
Aye.
member Juan.
Aye.
Member Zinn.
Yes.
The motion has been approved.
Thank you. Next item. 2022-5943. Ron Wizard, agent for design ingenuity, presents the result of a survey and inventory report for 4.03 acres for development at 2670 and 2690 State Way and Rivers and Trails Ecological Review District for ARC conditions placed on the approval in case number 2019956. Thank you for the staff report, Carly. Anything to add to that?
Thank you, Chair. Just that, I added the minutes into this, so you can see that it was conditionally approved. And so essentially, we're coming back to, show that those conditions have been dealt with. At least that was the way, I thought to deal with it procedurally. So, to present those findings.
Ron is at the table. He needs to be sworn in, please.
Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please give me your name and address for the record.
Ron Winters, 109 Calle Paula, Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87505.
Hey, Ron, it's your floor.
So you could think you guys are familiar with this case. This is the one that was tested extensively and, got approval. Gosh, work was done in 2019. Yeah, so this is, unfortunately, and you see my notes in there, we didn't have a very my client didn't have a very responsible landowner. But I, on my own, and I do this anyway, check on projects when I know there's further work to be done. And sure enough, the landowner went in, they put in a main line along the eastern edge of it. They bladed probably a third of the project area. So I documented those. You see, those photos. And I did right afterwards address your concern was able to back those post holes and excavated those. And then it changed hands, and we then had a responsible landowner who said, whatever needs to be done, we'll do it. And so that was the monitoring of the grubbing and blading. And so basically for 2 days, I just followed this road grader, you know, as he went, passes back and forth. And, if you noted, I took a photograph of that, what it appeared to be a feature on one of my visits there. And I mapped it at that time and knew that I would, you know, be coming back. It never changed from the initial scrape. And so that I excavated, and I don't know, it appears that whatever else might have been there was gone. So I had limited, you know, evidence, but it still, I believe was a feature. And once I excavated below the cobbles, I found, you know, plaster. And, but it didn't extend further to the east. So anyway, I, you know, hope that satisfies, you know, the requirement to get the final approval on this. Of course, I did find artifacts, and I think one thing that was kind of interesting were the metal artifacts from near feature 2 that kind of confirmed that was a storage shed, you know, with a unfinished floor. But the artifacts, I think those 2 brackets may have been a barn door frame. And then there were a few other, there was a shovel, you know, part of a shovel and that linkage. So anyway, that was interesting in the vicinity of feature 2, and then feature 1, you know, more glass and even a couple of complete bottles. So I'll shut up and let you guys talk.
All right, thanks, number 2.
Okay. This would be. I think number here. Oh, it's actually on the NIAF form. You mentioned that, that was not the case at site LA 76232 of the Social Property Review Committee instructed the familiar that all of this is the same site, right? Was that
Yeah,
meant to be this committee? And, but I don't think you mentioned the CPRC anywhere else. It was just a project.
no, it was when he went before, because as you know, it was Sherry was there first, and then Elizabeth and Michael were there, and then Todd was there.
So at some point though, they had to go before CPRC.
Yes,
Fair enough.
yeah,
I was just a little confused on that. The only other comment I have is that in a couple of places, you recommend the site as not eligible, basically because it's historic and there are lots of sites like that. I would probably agree that it's no longer eligible, but I would just say that the information potential has been exhausted through this study.
okay,
That avoids the whole debate about whether or not the thing is eligible and significant in the first place, because you've now treated it. So,
got it, okay.
other than that, I don't think I have any further comments.
All right, okay. Number 2.
Don't, except for on page 46, it talks about black hole beginning, but use the term TACHO, and use that a couple times. I don't know if that's
A spelling
the
error?
guy that's driving it, or is it?
Oh, Tacho, no, Tacho is the,
Is the brain?
no, is the foreman.
Foreman, okay. Well, that's, because I thought, well, maybe it's just.
Tacho,
Trackle.
Tacho Traco, nickname, no.
Trackle.
No, Tacho was the field supervisor, and actually was great to work with. I did think that,
Parenthetically, we should say the name of the guy.
yeah, I think I identified him earlier on,
Okay,
and then I used his name a lot, but
all right.
I did think the Traco was a little overkill for the grubbing,
I guess. I had to get that.
but that's what they had.
See that. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Number 1. I see no reason to make any comments, so thank you for getting out there and keeping an eye on these folks and getting it done.
Yeah, well, it was nice to, you know, I mean, that was the whole reason behind this, was to see if there's any other features, and sure enough, you know, the charcoal stain expanded, and, you know, there was probably another structure. You
I move for approval of 005943, as submitted.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce,
Aye.
member Juan.
Aye.
Member Zinn,
Yes.
the motion has been approved.
Thank you.
know, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next month.
So, shall we move on to the consideration of the next item? 2022-5939. Chris Carlson, archaeologist of ND5, requests to be listed on a list of approved archaeologists and historians for the Riverine Trails and Suburban Archaeological Review District. Thank you for the staff report, Carly. Anything to add to that, and any news about our applicant?
Thank you, Chair. I emailed them last week. I didn't get a response back. I did get an away message, but there were 2 folks on that email, so, we just haven't had a response. That doesn't mean they don't always show up there. That said, only other item is, we normally get a writing sample, and I'd requested one, it just didn't come in after that, response. That's it.
All right. Well, can we read number? Number 1.
I did have a question about.
I can't really hear you.
Sorry, I had a question about how it is material.
That's a fair question.
It should be, but that's not how they do it. Unless, maybe he was in before they changed that at some point.
Not that I know.
Not that I know.
But for this.
For
purpose,
this
yeah.
purpose, he is qualified. I just had that question.
Oh, in light of that and lack of sample, do you want to put no? Is it that?
I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
I worked with him in
I'm
2003, that's how long he's been
Yeah,
there.
I've always been around.
If it were short downtown, we'd be having a different.
Oh,
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
River Trails.
Much,
Yeah,
So
the writing sample is not required.
consensus is that
We
we are
usually get one.
willing to overlook the lack of a writing sample and proceed with consideration.
And we're exercising our prerogative to say that he has equivalent experience, because he does not have the other. Right, but a few decades, it's
Yeah.
more than enough to satisfy.
Okay. Specifically, though. You have no more comments?
Correct.
Zen has no more comments, Member Pierce, no comments. I will make no comments. And they want to make a motion.
I move we, approve case 5939 and add Chris Carlson to the list of approved archaeologists for the Suburban and Riverine Trail District.
Moving and seconded, roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce.
Aye.
Member Juan.
Aye.
Member Zinn.
Yeah.
The motion has been approved.
Thank you. Administrative matters and communications is next. What do we have, Carly?
We have, interviews lined up for the senior planner position, so we'll be hiring, hopefully. We've got a pretty good round of candidates and we'll be interviewing next week and the following week. We did hire, someone in the Historic Preservation Division, who has more architectural experience, so we're kind of covering our bases between the HDRB and the ARC. And that's the plan.
I hope we're not gonna be competing from the same applicant. We're hiring two.
I hear it's, I know it's,
Well, when it was all virtual, yeah, you could have 5 jobs at the same time.
it's recruiting is a big thing lately, so.
Congratulations. Hasn't been- You still got to pay them up.
This is true, this is very true. In the meantime, we've still got Nicole on the sole source contract, and she's doing a little help with training as well. So that's very nice.
She's running for sure.
In Nevada.
Reno.
Lake Tahoe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Other than that, we did have a big flood of applications coming in, it's late summer. It seems to have let up a little bit, which is interesting. So, our next hearing is scheduled for November the 3rd, and I kind of doubt we'll have a second one, but I will keep you posted based on how many applications, if we get 12. But
Interest rates are making development.
I have a feeling it has to do with wanting to get them done from the summertime.
Yeah,
That's it for administrative matters and matters.
All right, committee members, do you have any items to raise, any communications to offer?
I just have one FYI. I got a jury duty notice that will run from the end of October to early January. So there's a potential for conflict. It doesn't matter if I get called on that day or not.
All right. If there's nothing else, we can move on to the next item.
I'm going to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Member Pierce?
Aye.
Member Juan? Member Zim?
Yes.
The motion has been approved.
We stand adjourned.
Just not the same about jury duty.